What's up, buddy?
Yo, what's up?
Congratulations on the victory.
There we go. That's a lot better.
You've had a few minutes to digest it. How are you feeling about the fight?
Oh man, honestly, it's one of those that I'm not impressed by my performance at all. Like I'm looking at it. It was a great fight, and I know it was a great fight for everybody else to watch because man, Randy came out really strong, and I started off kind of really slow. I'm pretty upset about how I started off really slow. Because I'm always looking for perfection, and I know that it's like impossible to get there. But man, I'm really upset about my first round performance, man. I got to do better, especially if I really want to be in the top 25, top 15, top 5, and then if I do want to hold the belt one day, I absolutely have to start cleaning up that part of my game. Like I have to. Randy came out really strong, and honestly, I really underrated his jab because I didn't know he even had one. He had a really, really good jab, and it surprised me. And by the 8th one that I ate, I was like, damn, he's fucking quick.
Do you have any idea why you started off slow? Is that something you've had problems with before? Or is it just you weren't feeling it tonight?
No, I really don't know what it was. I think it was more of a, like, I think kind of like, I don't want to make an excuse or anything like that, but we warmed up, I'd say a little bit too early, and then we kind of went cold before we walked out. And but man, I don't know. I just like once I walked in there, I'm supposed to do what I'm supposed to do. So anything before that, it really doesn't matter. I got in the cage and I was kind of stuck in the mud. I should have been on my feet a little bit more. I should have been moving. I should have done a little bit more feints. What I started doing towards the end of that round, I should have done that from the very beginning instead of the very last part of that round in the second round. I should have been on from the very beginning. I can't let that happen again.
Was there a moment in there when you're getting peppered with jabs that you're like, dude, what am I doing? Was there a moment where you're thinking to yourself?
I was like literally after the first 3, I was like, man, and there was times where I saw the jab coming, but I just couldn't do anything about it. But I knew I needed to move, and then I needed, like, my corner gave me really good confirmation that I needed to move. Like in the corner, I hear my training partner Leo just move. You're looking for one shot. Stop. And I started moving around, like towards like I guess around the 3-minute mark. I started moving around a little bit more, stopped being a little bit still, and I started mixing up myself. Started throwing the kicks, started throwing the punches a little bit more, and started being a little bit more diverse, and started walking him down. That's what I should have done from the very beginning.
Was there a moment? Did you say something to the commentators?
Oh no, I heard I heard DC saying something about like, oh, he's doing a good job, or said something about the jab, and I threw the jab and I parried Randy's jab, and it's like, I heard that, DC. That's all I said. It was, yeah. It's so funny because like I've been here twice, and there was a little crowd here today, and you could hear like DC, like you hear DC's voice. I barely heard Brendan Fitzgerald or Dominic Cruz, and even these last couple times I fought, I didn't hear Michael Bisping or anything like that or anything, but I was able to hear DC, and that, like, I guess that's why he's so good at coaching, because man, you can catch his voice through anything.
You and Randy had a little conversation in the cage after the fight. What exactly were you guys saying to each other?
Man, honestly, we both just kind of just like, holy fuck, that was a great fucking fight, good one. And I told him, I was like, dude, I didn't expect you to come out like that. I was like, I didn't expect you to come out boxing oriented. I thought you were gonna go jab kick and like be really kick oriented. And he's like, motherfucker, like dude, you have such good boxing. I can't let my feet come off the ground. I was like, because I knew what you wanted to do. And I was like, yeah. I was like, but dude, like, how the fuck did you get that good of a jab, bro? Like, how did you get that good of a jab? And he's just said he's been working on it a lot, and then after that, we kind of conversated and just said like, "Hey, you want a Dr. Pepper and Reese's when we get back to the hotel?" I was like, "Yeah, absolutely. That'd be my favorite thing right now."
That's awesome, dude. Do you think you guys will do it again one day?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I believe in his potential. Like, man, look at that. Like the beginning of the first round, man, he was peppering me up, and he was doing a really good job for the first 3 minutes, for the whole time he was controlling in the first round. Man, he was doing a really good job. I have him high where I believe he'll hit, and like I think he's one of those guys that's going to be like around the top 15. This definitely won't be the first time I see him. I'm probably going to see him again.
This is one of those fights that when it got said, it was kind of perfect, right? Everyone was like, "That's a great fight." Do you have another one in mind right now? Is there anyone you want?
Honestly, I didn't want to think past Randy because I knew how tough Randy was, and like honestly, good thing I didn't because look at that first round. Man, that I'm really glad I didn't look past him. Like he's such a great fighter. He's a phenomenal fighter. He's really explosive, really fast, a lot faster than what I thought he was. A better jab, and now he just needs to smooth everything out and just start getting better. And good thing I didn't look past him. So I really don't have anything else in mind. All I want to do is just get this X-ray, get this suspension down to like until I'm cleared from the doctor, and then fight in September, man. I want to be active. I want to be really, really active, and then after that, December, take a break for a little bit, active till December, and then take a break.
I know you're not happy with your own performance, but it was awesome, man. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Your fight was one that the fans were calling the people's main event. Does that put pressure on you, or is that something you thrive off of?
Honestly, it's one of those things that you always have to put in the back of your mind. You can't let that get to your head because it can either really up your performance. People can perform under really good pressure, and some people break under pressure. So I just like to throw the pressure all the way, and I just really don't really think about it. It's really great that the fans really like that. That's a big plus, and I absolutely love it. But whenever it comes to fighting, you have to be able to throw all that back. Yeah, you can't have anything in your mind because you have a guy in front of you that's trying to take your head off. And Randy is that guy that's going to go in there and try to take your head off every single time. Man, honestly, going back to it again, look at that first round. He tried to take my head off, and I'm just too tough. But it's great that we had the fan support, and honestly, it's the biggest blessing because without the fans, we wouldn't have a job, and I'm super grateful. And if it wasn't for them, man, I wouldn't be here. The UFC, I don't think it would be as big as it is without the fans. And also a big shout out to my Twitter group chat, Team Yanez, Dr. Pepper, and Tacos. Again, they're great. They're phenomenal. They do a great job, being super supportive.
And also on that same note, having a banter with your opponent like you guys did, it was fun, it was lighthearted. Is that difficult then to have to switch that off and go in there and take his head off?
Oh, absolutely not. Not for me. I can go in there and fight. I was just a stick in the mud. It was like that. I don't contribute any of the nice talking to the performance kind of being a little bit harder on my end. It was Randy. It was Randy being better in certain areas than what I thought. So. No, for me, I'm still gonna go in there and try to punch you in the face and try to do whatever I can to get the win. Because when you're in there, it's you or him, and it's always to me. I'm always thinking it has to be me. I have to go in there and win. I have to be the guy that comes out on top. So there was it. The first part of that was definitely because of Randy doing such a good job.
Thank you,
Adrian.
Hey, how you doing?
Of your 14 wins, where would this one rank?
This one ranks really, really high because he's the first one to actually kind of put me in this type of position. He was outclassing me for about a minute or two and three. The toughest fight that I had after this was a fight with Kyle Estrada, but it wasn't to this this is the first time since my second professional fight where I came out looking like this. So. This it's really tough. This one ranks really, really high, and honestly, it's one of my favorites. Even though it's at the same time, I'm still I'm so pissed off about my performance. This still ranks really, really high because I respect Randy so much, and I respect what he's done, and I respect what he stands for, and just the fact that we're able to go in there and create such positivity around this fight. It just ranks super high to me.
People love to debate who's the best boxer in the UFC, and your name doesn't get brought up a whole lot, but do you think your name needs to be in that list?
When it comes to strictly boxing, I believe so. Yeah, the striking, man. I got kind of a little bit stuck in the mud because I thought he was gonna come really kick oriented, and if you slip too much and you move your head off to the side, you get head kicked, and I didn't want that. So he kind of. At the very beginning, whenever I was too stiff, I was afraid of the head kicks. He started coming in really hand oriented and had me confused for a second. So, so to me, if we're just going just hands, I believe I would have had that from the beginning. But it's mixed martial arts, so you can't say I'm the best boxer. You have to be I'm the best striker. So at the end of the day, I feel like I dropped a couple notches back. But when you saw me actually turn everything back on, that's whenever I'm one of the best strikers in this division. Best boxers for sure whenever I turn it back on. And I should have been able to turn it on this fight a lot faster.
And then you said you want to return in September. You got to be out. You got to be out in front of fans, right?
Oh, I absolutely have to be out in front of fans, man. Man, this fight, even though it had a small amount of fans, I felt like this fight would have been like a lot better in front of fans. I think it would have been great. I heard people cheering in there for him. No, I heard probably one or two in my cornerman for me. So everybody in there was for him. So I was like, all right, cool, whatever. But if it was in Houston, man, this would have been a lot better. So I need to fight in front of the fans. I have to, man. I feel like this. I feel like it would only improve what I would do, because eventually we're gonna have to fight in front of fans, and that's what I want to do. I need to do that, man. Especially if it's Houston, that makes it all the more better. But I don't mind fighting in front of fans in Vegas, because that's all I've ever fought in the UFC, or fighting for my contract or anything is here in Vegas, and I wouldn't mind fighting in front of Vegas because I love it here. Because right now, right after this, man, get to go out there and you have Las Vegas food, some of the best in the world. So, man, I'm super happy. I'm super excited. So I have to fight in front of fans.
And I mean, you don't really name anybody, but there is Miles Johns, that rematch. Do you want someone in the top 15? Do you want someone in the top 25? Do you want another prospect? Where's your head at?
Man, honestly, right now, anybody's kind of up there. Anybody who's kind of ranked a little bit more ahead of me. It doesn't have to be too crazy, because look, again, going back to my performance, man, I'm really harsh on myself, because I know whenever it comes to this fight game, if I'm not harsh on myself and I don't go out there and I don't perform, man, you end up being the one knocked out, and I don't want to be that guy. I'm not the guy that gets knocked out. I'm the one that does the knocking out. So I have to really go back and readjust and learn from my mistakes. Going back to the who's next, man, whoever, man. If it's Miles Johns, it's Miles Johns. If it's somebody else, it's somebody else, man. It doesn't matter to me as long as I step in front of somebody soon. I'm good. Just make sure I get medically cleared and I'm good to go.
And finally, for me, I've said it before. You have a rabid fan base on Twitter, on MMA Twitter. So, just what's your message to MMA Twitter?
Come again.
What's your message to MMA Twitter?
Oh man, MMA Twitter. Thank y'all so much, man. I love y'all so much. There's actually a couple people, man. One main one. His name on Twitter is @FrontKickAndy. Dude, I think his name is Yanez Gatandez. I love it. It's amazing. He's a great guy. He's actually doing a I think he just doing a giveaway. So me and him kind of teamed up for he chose some people. So I'm gonna sign some stuff and I'm gonna send it out to the people that he chose. So a really good guy. Stands for a lot of good things. So big message to MMA Twitter. Thank y'all for making this fight such more bigger than what it was, man. It went from the prelims to the main card because of y'all. Y'all did amazing, and I'm so grateful that y'all made it this big. And I absolutely love y'all. Thank y'all. Y'all made this happen.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats on the big win, Adrian.
Thank you so much.
And of course, on behalf of everybody, thank you for that fight. It was two versions of you. Thank you for the explanation about coming in cold. Once you cleared the cobwebs, we saw that adjustment. How did you see those openings, and how were you able to capitalize with the punch selection, the uppercuts up the middle, all that?
Man, honestly, whenever I get turned, I turn my engine on and I start going, I'm very good at picking spots. I'm very good at finding the opening shots, and if I find the open shot, I really try to laser in on it. And that first round, again, man, I was really upset of how slow I started. I should have started a lot faster. I needed to, especially with a guy like Randy. Randy's gonna come in and try to take your head off every single time. And man, I should have been more ready. I shouldn't have. Me being cold has nothing to do with it. I should have started from the very beginning. I should have shook it out and just automatically kind of just came out and came out pretty strong. But man, the shot selection, to me, as soon as I get going, man, my shot selection is one of the best.
Excellent. And in between rounds 1 and 2, they have to wipe the blood. Then you went into this BJ Penn mode. What was that about?
Man, honestly, I don't like it. Kind of pissed me off, man. I was like, I was in the corner and I was like really kind of down on myself. So my corner, Leo, man, man, my coach saw like got sick, so he had to stay back in Houston, and I got my training partner Leo to come in, and like we train with each other so much that he knows me like the back of his hand, and I know him like the back of his hand. We know each other's mindset, so he had to calm me down and tell me, look, you're doing good, man. Towards the end of that round, you start doing a lot better. Calm down. Look, I know you're upset about this. Like he's like, I know you're upset about this, and look, we can't change that. Start doing this better. You gotta start doing this better. I was like, yeah, all right, yeah, I got you, man. I understand, I got you. He's like, yeah, just start moving a little bit more and get this together, man. Like just start moving. Keep those feints up. If you want to chop his leg down, chop his leg down. If you want to start throwing the hands, throw the hands. Throwing combination, no single shots. Go in there, man. You're in great shape. So almost exact word for word. We could probably he had the mic on, so if you can go back and find it, that's probably word for word what he said. But we know each other like the back of our hands, so he helped me out a lot. Helped calm me down going into the round. So like I was a little bit pissed off still because I was like, man, that first round was like wasn't good for me, and I knew that I was only gonna get better. My second and third round against Randy would have been more of the same if I didn't get the stoppage. Just like run, it would have been like it would have been worse.
All right, congrats on the big win. If
Thank
you
you so
make it
much.
up to the UFC pay-per-view in a couple of weeks, you'll need like Conor type security. It's gonna be awesome.
Oh man, absolutely. I got my Dr. Pepper off to the side, man. I go to Houston. I got my tacos ready, man. I'm loving it. Thank y'all so much, man. I love y'all.